Hi, everybody. Welcome to the swamp. And give a great big welcome to Rhonda Wendzel.
Wens
Is that how you,
Wendzel.
that's how you say Wendzel? Okay. I meant to ask you that backstage so I wouldn't mess it up when we started and I forgot. Um, Rhonda is a healer. And so I am going to, I want to pop up a few things real quick. Of course, we have our content warning up because we're not professional medical people to give medical advice, so we have to put that up so we don't get sued. And that's how silly it can be. So this is Rhonda's website. She does not have a YouTube channel yet, but when she does, she'll let us know and we'll be able to broadcast that out and let everybody know about it. But in the meantime, you can go to her website. The link is in the description box below. That way, you can actually click on that link and it'll take you to where you want to go. And all right, I think probably we could get by without the other banner up. We've had it up for a little bit there. So welcome, Rhonda, and I'm so glad to have you here and introduce you to everybody. I'm going to turn the floor over to you, let you introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do, how you do it, that kind of thing, and then we'll just take it from there and see what happens next. So, um, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Miss Rhonda Wendzel.
Well, it's good to be here. So I'm excited to be able to communicate with people that have any questions today and to meet Shari. So I consider myself an energy practitioner because that is the easiest way to sum up everything. I think most of us that work with energy have varying abilities. Sometimes information comes channeled. Sometimes, medium work is there. I don't like to use the word medical intuitive because I think that that is sometimes misconstrued and people use it in a different way. I am a nurse, so I have a pretty strong medical background. I've worked in cytology, doing preliminary diagnosis for cancer. So I have a medical background, but usually when my guides bring information, it's more about where there's energy stuck. Um, it will come in different forms, depending on what's going on in the body. So sometimes that is physical information, sometimes that's emotional and spiritual information. So I don't have a specific, that's whatever comes through me. So that is kind of the gist of what I do. I am um, very adamant or very involved right now with talking with plants, trees, animals, stones, basically the elements, and Mother Gaia. I think that this is a really important time for us to be connected to these things. So I really would like to um, encourage people to be more connected with energy, with the things around them, and within themselves. So to kind of sum up a very long thing, my goal is for the information to come through me to empower you to be able to use energy to connect with yourself and your own healing.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am. And so, Rhonda and I connected, and I was like, "Yeah, let's get you on. Let everybody, get to see you." And we've already got quite a few questions up. Kind of before we get started, I want to remind everybody about Andrew Niki Skincare and his website. That's in the box below. As y'all know, I'm a big fan of Andrew's skincare products. They're just top of the line, absolute all the way down. Um, and of course, Otter Spirit and valid until I think December 1st. There's a special November discount. So, and I'm talking about it and I don't have a bracelet on. Usually I've got a couple of their bracelets on and I forgot to put them on. So, as y'all know, every sale that you make, they donate X amount to the Monterey Bay Wild Sea Otters protection, and which they almost went extinct. So they joined the conservation group that was working on revitalizing the sea otters. And I just think otters are really cute too. So, and they make really nice jewelry. Their stuff is like top grade gemstones, they're handmade products, and I'll have to grab some and show y'all maybe a little bit later on. Of course, Trisha's cards, as y'all know, I'm a big fan of her tarot and oracle cards. They are so spot on. And my good friend Jules, who's also a subscriber and member here, has her own Etsy shop, and she makes all of her jewelry from hand herself with real gemstones, real gold, real silver. She doesn't use the cheapy spray on stuff. She uses the real McCoys. So it's really nice jewelry. Um, so that kind of gets that out of the way. Housekeeping is done. And make sure that you go to Rhonda's website. Like I said, the link is below. And first thing up is Deanne says, I like the way you described what you do. Yes. And so a lot of what you do with the elements and everything reminds me of working with native groups because that's a big focus for them. And so that's really cool.
Mhm.
And I've got a bunch of folks here. So, hello, how are you? If I start calling out names, we'll be here all day. And you know who you are, you know I see you. That's um, so let's see. First up, if you're ready, we'll jump right in.
Sure.
Edward Kennedy would like to know, do I have blockages in my chakras? And as if that's something you can pull up on.
So, Edward, I right away seeing something around your heart chakra. So, a blockage in the chest area. Um, so I'm getting a little bit up into my throat. So I just want to know, if you're having a heaviness in that area, and also if there's any issues with your throat speaking, or as far as feeling like you have a a cold or something.
Give him a minute to respond because there's a little bit of a delay
It
between what
also
they've got
seems like
and what
maybe,
we see. So I'm
yeah, it
sorry.
also seems like maybe you could boost your um, solar plexus area a little bit. That might be a little bit drained. So I would really work on. Um, I believe a lot of the trauma is deeper than what is appearing in the physical. So for me, in the information I get, it's often the physical is the last place for something to show up. So it feels like there is something more emotional going on with this, and doing some work around that. I have recently been doing tapping and found some great relief with that deals with the meridians in the body, which helps things flow through.
Yes.
So
Yes, I've
I could
done
do some
tapping.
other work. I could do some other work with you, but it may not be relevant in this platform.
There you go. He says that he does have a little bit of a sore throat, and evidently always seems to have a little issue in the solar plexus. So
Yeah. So when I
that,
do work with a client one-on-one, because I usually do an hour to an hour and a half, so it's kind of hard to do that here, except for to bring up some suggestions for people to use use at home, right? But usually working with bringing that energy down and out, and helping to do with some breath work. So some different techniques. But I do see tapping to be really effective. And I feel like if we were work together, that there would be some underlying emotional stuff that could help be moved out. If that is helpful for you.
cool. So hopefully that like I
Okay,
said,
I'm
there's
also
usually
getting, there's just one more thing coming up. I'm getting a need to, I don't know, sing or to, you know, use vibration in that area. So something even like a throat singing, whatever. I don't know if you sang, I don't know if you have an interest in that, but like the throat singing, you can go way down into the chest and into the throat, help release that in a vibrational manner. If that's not something that you enjoy doing, something like a tuning fork or the bowls, even if you listen to that online, might be helpful for that area.
yeah, I love listening to the singing bowls. Those are really awesome. He says you'll have to try that out. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. So let's see who was next. Um, all right, next up was Old Windwalker, who is asking what does he need to know to work on or to heal through the end of the year and into early next year.
Okay. I kind of need more about you because there's no picture of you, and to not hear your voice makes it difficult. Um,
Right.
so Windwalker, if
Oh,
you could have
Windwalker.
a name or like a location or
Oh,
something like
it's a
that.
she. I'm always saying he, and it's a she, and I know that, and my brain just for whatever reason flips to he. So maybe just a little bit about what some of your issues are, Old Windwalker, and then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah, I need
Um,
something to kind of zoom in on your
so,
energy.
yeah, if there's a particular area that's really
So I'm getting something down. Sometimes I have a hard time with the mirror image. So I'm feeling it down on my left side in the lower area. I don't know if that's an area that you're dealing with. If you could let me know. Um, yeah, so it would be helpful to have a little bit more information to go with that, because it looks like there are some issues in there. There might be lower intestines. Um, there are some other organs in there that may be attached, such as ovaries or something. So
okay.
let me know anything that you would like to share about that. That could more information can kind of come through. I see kind of like a dark spot in that area. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you've had some medical testing or had that looked at.
There you go. And Owen Walker, I forget, name is also Sherry. So
Because to give a straight answer on what you need to do to the end of the year, um, again, the way that my guides work through me, I usually do a body scan or whatever, and start moving that energy. And then as that happens, it gives a little bit better idea of the next steps. So another thing that comes up, though, is that depending on the type of practitioners that you like to see, be very careful with my wording here. There are some practitioners that do remove energy, and I'm seeing that might be something that would be beneficial, as this has been there for quite some time and might even be a past life thing. So let me know if that helps, or any more information you want to share.
Yeah,
again, it's hard to do this work online.
Let us know, Sherry, so because there's only so much that Rhonda can kind of cover online, because we don't want her to get in trouble or me to get in trouble, so we can keep doing this. So let's see. Okay, this is, I don't know if this is an area you can cover or not, but this is Todd, who's one of my regulars here.
Okay, so as somebody that is guided to do this work, I am not, even though I have a medical background, I do not ever make a diagnosis. Not only because of the restrictions with that, the words that we use are very, very important. And working as a nurse, and I've worked in oncology, we have to be very careful to label anything, because we do have the power to transform any condition in our body. Okay. And you can, using guidance. So I'm going to say that first and foremost, because even if somebody does have cancer, that does not have to mean a terminal condition or something that can't be reversed. What I am being shown is that there is more than one nodule that is there. I'm just reading under here. So with what my guides are showing me, it would absolutely be beneficial for you to have a PET scan, right? That's going to give you more information. Mm-hmm. Once again, though, somebody that has worked with a preliminary diagnosis of cancer in cytology and as an oncology nurse, I really want you to keep your mind open as information comes through, because medical practitioners are so black and white often. And I would be happy to work with you on an outside basis. So that's the information I'd like to share. Yes, getting a PET scan is going to be very beneficial for you. And I see darkness in the lungs, which for me, because again, people read different, so somebody can get the exact same picture and it means something different to them. So what it means to me, I'm wondering, there's a heaviness as if, are you a smoker? What other respiratory issues are you having right now? They're showing me the bronchioles and the lungs. So are you having difficulty breathing right now? So again, it's hard for me to do this because I usually spend an hour to an hour and a half with my clients. But to answer your question, yes, it would be very beneficial for you to get a PET scan.
Okay. Yeah, this is very surface level, just kind of a general what is picked up in the moment, because like Rhonda says, she would have to really go in and spend time with somebody to give a thorough reading. And of course, you always need to go in and see your doctors and get that checked, because we're not doctors. And I
Yeah.
was never a nurse. I did medical
Yeah.
administration for 30 plus years,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was never a nurse or a doctor. So I know
Yeah.
the outskirts of things, but I don't know anything going into it.
Right. Right. Well, because again, what shows up in the physical is often there's underlying. So when I am shown like to do a scan, I look at different layers. So I'll look at the physical, go down through the different systems of the body, go through the circulatory, the nervous system, the immune, and all of that. And sometimes I'm actually shown DNA or bone things. So even doing that with the physical, sometimes these are past life, sometimes these are present. There is no black and white for any one condition, which is where I see the limitations in the current medical field. It, and even in a lot of our alternative practice, it is not if this, then this, because we are all very different people with, different Akashic records and different backgrounds.
Right, right, right. Yeah, Todd said she was a former smoker,
Yeah.
active allergies. She'll definitely be
Yeah.
checking out your site. So,
Yeah,
I
and I
mean,
can
yeah,
feel that.
whatever you can do. And
Yeah, I can feel that in you. So, um, yeah, that will be beneficial and that will be a start. And I would love to work with you on a one-to-one basis if that's something that you would like to do.
there you go. All right, let's see who is. Okay, Ruby Moon says that she recently got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. What do you recommend me to work on?
Um, yeah, so I am seeing a lot of inflammation. Again, mirror image. So what I'm seeing is left side more so, which again is your receiving side. And it's interesting because it lights up like I actually feel these in my body, in the head, in the elbow, and down through the hip and knee. So from a physical standpoint, of course, you can work on the inflammatory condition, whether it's dietary or it's topical.
Okay, she
So I'm
said
actually
yes,
seeing,
leg.
huh?
She's saying left leg with urethma. No, notice them.
Urethra. Okay, so on the
Okay,
outside, yeah, yeah.
urethma.
So on a deeper basis, I'm wondering if there are some inflammatory situations as far as relationship wise, possibly with family. Because again, we can work with the physical. You can do something like I'm seeing a paste actually of like a turmeric. So you can take that internally. They're actually showing you to make a paste and put it on the body. That's not the only way to address that. There's over-the-counter things as well. But on a deeper level, it feels like there is some trauma or strained relationships, particularly in the family, that could be addressed that might also affect this. Um, there is a meridian. I have a little meridian guy. I can't profess. They show me the meridians, but I can't profess to know all the points. It's not the central, but it's one that goes down through the side. Um, and there are several blockages in that too that could be worked with. So again, it really depends on how people want to work through these things. So I would start with the physical and let me know about the strained relationship thing, because that is something that I feel would make a huge difference and you would feel a lot of relief.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, because I know when things around you emotionally, spiritually, family, friends, job, whatever, when things get really off balance, it can really affect our health
Yeah.
internally and externally because we suck that up and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then don't
Yeah,
let it go.
it can be in our everyday life, but often what I see again by the time that it's showing up in the body is that this is something that may have been there for years. So when I work on people and I'll work on a certain area and I'll actually see like a traumatic event, I'll see a relationship with the family. So these can be very deep. It doesn't have to be the immediate now. It can be, but it often is over a period of time.
Oh, okay. See, even I'm learning stuff here minute to minute. So, okay, let's see. Kay Parker, retired nurse. Since retiring, she's had a stroke. Doctor found I have an aortic aneurysm. Now they think I may be a hemophiliac. I'm 67. What do you see? And does she need surgery? Or she's stating they're saying that she needs surgery. Wow, that's a lot there, Kay.
Yeah, you've got a lot. I'm curious if you were a cardiac nurse. Um, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. So obviously, with the aortic aneurysm, you as a nurse know the significance of that. Yes, I see the weakness in that vessel. You
It
clearly
looks like
have
she's
to.
saying yes to the cardiac nurse.
She was a cardiac nurse. Yeah. So
Mhm.
again, starting with the physical, yes, I see the weakness, the aneurysm, the possibility for there to be, further issues. It does not seem imminent that you would require a surgery right away. Again, that is something to talk to the physician about. As far as the cardiac nursing, what I'm getting is that you obviously you've seen a lot of patients. You appear to have been a cardiac nurse for a lot of time, but there are a few people that had these conditions that you'd gotten close with, and it's almost like I don't know if you took some of that on when you got it close to them. So there is also a release and a letting go of that attachment. Some people do cord cutting type activities and those type of things. So again, from a top layer, it's clearly there. I can't say whether or not to do surgery because there's risk, but it doesn't seem that it is urgent to do it right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let's see. Barbara is asking, why am I so tired all the time? Are my chakras unbalanced?
Okay, again, I'm getting some information. It would be beneficial to see a picture or to know where you're at. Can you at least tell me your location?
Yeah, Barbara, where are you at? East Coast, West Coast, what state? What country? trying to narrow it down for Rhonda here. So, are you here? Let's see. She's in New Mexico.
Okay. I'm also living in New Mexico at the time right now.
Okay.
And again, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, okay, and you can let me know. So, as we are all aware, at this time in the evolution of the planet and Earth and politics, it's very heavy, anyways. I'm really sensing, and it almost brings me to tears. I don't know if you have a Native American heritage or DNA. Regardless, in this part of the country, that is very strong. And I know even with Chaco Canyon that the government is wanting to drill for gas. There's a deep sadness. So I'm sensing that there's a disconnect between your everyday life, your purpose, your ethics, and perhaps the way that you're feeling that you need to live. And that's affecting your energy level. I also sense that it's also affecting your relationships. I just feel this really deep heaviness. So I'm going to say that, one, you need to get out and have more fun, do some dancing, but you really need to get outside and connect with Earth and to do whatever rituals that you may find appropriate. I'm seeing flowers. I'm seeing marigolds, which is interesting. The El Morte, the marigolds obviously have that significance. So with those that have passed. So there may be some ancestral healing that needs to happen here as well.
And just a thought, you can always play Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun to get
There
you
you
in
go.
the mood.
Yeah.
The minute you said have more fun, that song started playing through my head. So,
so on my bucket list, I've got like a whole bucket list, right? So I've been an athlete my whole life, and now I'm trying to develop, because my singing has basically been grunting, and my dancing has been more Tin Man-ish. So I think that Cyndi Lauper should kind of be our new theme song, so that we can kind of enjoy and play, right?
There you go. Let's see. Gemini Morari has low vision. Will my vision stay stable, or will it become unstable?
Okay, so the first thing that pops into my mind just by that statement is macular degeneration. So I happen to be working in a surgery eye clinic at the moment. So I think it'd be very beneficial for you to get that checked out, to rule that out. Okay. Again, just from a very superficial, or something we all know of, Louise Hay, who wrote the book on, I guess what she had channeled. Vision is often what we don't want to see. So I'm getting information off to the right. So I feel like there's some things that you have been blocking that you don't want to see, but that are always there on your mind. I don't know if this is you or if this is somebody else. Was there a car crash? Was there a significant vehicle accident? I'm also feeling, a lot here, a lot of pressure. So get your eyes checked out. Make sure it's not macular degeneration. I would take something like a Vision or something like that. Again, I'm not diagnosing or telling you, but I'm saying that there are products out there that are very helpful to help with general eyesight. Again, those other things might be something that you want to work with a trauma therapist, maybe a somatic therapist, to kind of help work that out. Let me know if that's accurate. Again, I can only tell you what I see, so it may or may not resonate with you.
Well, as somebody who has multiple eye issues, including a double astigmatism and myopic, and dry eye and ocular high pressure in my eyes. I have eye drops I have to do twice a day and all kinds of stuff. But I have a really good eye doctor who thoroughly checks me every 6 months. I go in. I'm also like pre-glaucoma, pre-cataract that are like very vaguely starting to form, and several other issues on top of that. And so it's like I have to be really careful, I guess you could say. So I see my eye doctor every 6 months just so he can stay on top of it. And they run like it's not just come in left, right, and they're done. I go through like 5 different machines that they check things with my eyes every time I go in. So if I take my glasses off, I walk into the walls because I can't see them, or I can't tell the distance of them. So it's, yeah, you get kind of tied down with, and eyesight's scary to lose your eyesight. Everybody kind of freaks out a little bit about that, so which is understandable. Okay, let's see. Kay Parker.
But something like the macular degeneration, it can at least be slowed. So again, maybe you and I can talk another time, Shari, but some things can't be prevented, but you can definitely, there are surgery is amazing now what they can do, as well as the medications that they can give you. And
right. I take so many pills now. It's like I don't want to take another one. Let's see. Kay Parker. I am 67 and I have an aortic aneurysm.
We addressed this.
Oh, we already talked to Kay. Okay. I forgot to unstar it. Cindy Shea recently had whatever that is. Her skeletal muscle tissue breaks down and releases its contents into the bloodstream.
Yes.
Treated in the hospital. I'm wondering if blood needs more cleansing.
So, yes and no. Maybe cleansing the blood, so to speak, would be beneficial. I guess underlying is, it does not appear that maybe the rhabdomyolysis is completely resolved. There still seems to be some breakdown of the muscle tissue. So is with the bloodstream, when it's connected with the bloodstream, it's usually connected with sepsis or a bacteria or something that's in the bloodstream. So in that sense, we need to make sure that that basically you're not septic, and that you have the testing to know if there is any parasite or bacteria that is causing that, right? So
keep going.
I would recommend that you get more testing. Yeah, so more testing would be beneficial to kind of get to the bottom of what is causing that situation. So I don't have all the questions popping up on my screen because
Right. No,
I get
the
distracted, so
dog
I
got
had to
stuck in
cover
the
it up.
bedroom. I could hear him crying, and I was like, "Wait, let me go check him real quick."
Well, my
Okay.
cat's quite content over here.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, we got 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a lizard in this house. There's always
Oh,
one of
good
them crying
heavens.
for something. Let's see,
Zootopia, right?
Lucy. I'm sorry.
Zootopia.
That's what it feels like some days. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Um, Lucy is asking. Her stomach started hurting every time I eat. Could it maybe be the stress from having to put down her dog, or do you see anything? I'll handle the last bit of that question, and I'll let you deal with the medical side of that. Um,
Well, first thing I get is Helicobacter, which is what causes an ulcer, right? So you could likely get checked out by a doctor to see if it is an ulcer, and then that is pretty easily treated. The stress of having your dog put down clearly. Yeah, so it's really not wanting to digest that. I feel like this has been fairly recent. Maybe you're still in a little bit of shock over the situation and not able to process it. So that's not unusual in grief. So really take the time to nurture yourself. I'm also seeing a little altar. If you want to make an altar for your dog, um, I truly believe that we need to make things more sacred and to bless them and to respect them. And so this is a good process not only for you, but the transition of your dog, um, because just like us, they also transition, and sometimes it takes a while. Um, I feel like this pet has not completely crossed over. And so by doing this process, it's going to help you heal, and it'll also help, I don't know if it's a him or her, make that final transition by saying, I love you, kind of a ho'oponopono, I love you, and I let you go. And I don't want you to suffer anymore.
there you go. Absolutely. I'm trying to see. And then for this, Lucy, I pulled a couple of cards regarding disability. I got breakthrough, progress. So there's a good chance that everything's going to progress. I know when it comes to disability, it is a nightmare getting that approved. They put you through the ringer, and then they do it again, and then they do it again. I watched my late husband go through that when he had been in an accident at work and got his back broke. And to try to get him on disability, it was a nightmare. It took years. So hang in there. They're not as bad as they used to be about that, and they're a little bit more quick in their, being able to look at this. And then I got success and celebrate. So that's a good sign that you're going to be successful in getting this approved. It'll give you a chance to celebrate, because I know when it comes to disability, they backtrack from when you first file, so you get all that back pay that goes with it. So that's always a nice party right there. And then I got vitality boost. So
Yay.
I think once you get past the issues of trying to not worry financially, that can help a lot as well. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can squeeze in one more because we've already been at this 45 minutes. And I don't want to exhaust Rhonda because I would like for her to come back again when she's ready. And so I don't want to wear her out all the way. Let's see here. Let's see. Barbara says, "Thank you for your help. The more I think about it, the more I feel you're onto something." There you go. So if it resonates with you, it's you're gonna feel that.
And just again with the goal of helping people empower themselves, just asking and in getting information, it's not about whether something is actually right or wrong, because we're all interconnected. It's about starting the process of looking and seeing if something resonates with you or not, and that is kind of, and having a starting place to go, yeah, that might be something. Let's start there. It doesn't mean that it's a one and done. We're all a work in
Right.
progress, right? I feel like that's really important that we realize, in a world where it's take a pill and it's over, that is not our journey on this earth. Our journey on this earth is healing on multiple levels, and I feel like, maybe I talk a lot on these things, but I'm very passionate about it, as I see on multiple levels with people. Um, even just to bring in the plant medicine and that type of thing. So I started I started talking with plants. I had actually gone to a Mayan abdominal massage workshop to learn that modality, and I met a woman there, um, and she's like, "Hey, come over here. Like, let me show you how to talk with trees." And we ended up doing qigong with the tree, and realizing the energy, that everything is energy, and you can
Right.
say these things, you can read these things, practice whatever, but until you actually have that connection feel, which is one of the workshops that I would like to do, is to teach people how to connect, plants,
Yes.
animals, whatever, psychic and energetically. But is that I went home and I'm like, oh, I'm going to practice this, right? And so I live in Santa Fe, and there's sidewalks outside me, and there's all these trees lined up. So I'm starting going, and I'm like kind of like making sure nobody's looking and doing my little qigong thing and talking with them. And you like with anything you do, you need to set an intention. Like, I want to talk to you, I want to connect with you, I love you. And they're just like, nobody sees me. They just think I'm an object here, right? And then
Decoration.
they've taken us all, and they've just put us in little areas. Like, most of us are meant to be together, and our roots connect. And so I bring this up because I, more and more, with all the things that come through, feel that the earth is such a strong teacher to us, and that even they are developing, and even they are crying and working on multiple levels, right? So we're all in a healing process, and we're all one. So connecting with these things are going to help you, right? So that was something that was really wanting to come through, that my guides have been bringing up. And the other thing that they have been bringing up that I would also like to do a workshop on, and this is partly, people can email me, and it's basically my last name, Wendzel, the number 11 at gmail.com, and let me know if it's something you're interested in. But just basically bringing back the sacred and bringing back the respect, right? And that's not only for nature, but that's for your body, and looking in. So every morning when I wake up, and I do my prayers, sending love and, um, kind of how I want to be in the world, is I actually talk to my organs. And I do my own body scan and I go, wow, that heart is still hurting. And even if I don't know right at the moment what that is, I'll do like
Mhm.
my own little ho'oponopono for myself. And I'm like, I love
There you
you.
go.
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And if you do these things enough, it will start to come up. I say they're talking to you. You can say whatever it is. You go down to your digestive system. So many of us are having issues with the digestive system. And again, we can go into the physical and the things that you can talk to it. But on a really fundamental, simple basis, with all that's going on, it's really hard to digest the terror that we're seeing.
Yeah,
Right? So taking that time, and because we are all part of the divine, is bringing that in and going through your body, and you're like, wow, my stomach really hurts, and saying I love you. And it may sound kind of odd, but there is nothing more powerful than you talking to yourself and to your cells, because they are alive, right? And
absolutely.
that
It's just
is
like
really healing, powerful practice.
mo most of my regulars know me is I have to go outside every day. I don't care how hot, how cold, how wet, how dry, what the weather is.
Mm,
It's like I have to go sit outside for at least 10 or 15 minutes every
mhm.
day just to, it almost feels like you're getting plugged into a phone charger. It's like
Yes.
I have to go out there and just kind of plug into nature
Yeah.
and recharge. My lunch break every day, I've got a little spot that's like
Yeah.
off in the corner outside of my building where I work, where I have these big flowery bushes in front of me and then Japanese elms above me.
Oh, beautiful.
And I got a little place right there where I've got the trees, the bushes. I can see out, but nobody can see me inside unless
Mm,
they specifically look for me because I'm kind of hidden from view. And I
yeah,
love it. And I just sat out there for my lunch break and it's like this recharging so that when I go back up to my office, it's like, okay, I'm ready to go for the afternoon.
yeah.
Um, Even when
That's
I'm off, it's when I'm not having to do something here, I'm out on
mhm,
the patio. Yeah,
mhm,
just that's what works for me because I have a lot of my own medical issues that I'm working on, as a lot of y'all know. So I take it seriously about trying to talk to myself and say, shape up. I'm not even 65 yet, so we got
yeah,
a few more years to go. You need to pull it
mm,
together.
mm.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, and it's not even shaping up, it's just having compassion. Having compassion for
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah, because we
Um,
don't tend to do that, but, can I ask, are you still working as a in medical administration?
no, I'm in the education in a university now in computer
Mm.
science of all things. I don't know nothing about computers, but I'm just an administrative assistant. So
Yeah,
and uh, but I like doing what I do. It's
mhm.
everything being an administrative assistant is all self-taught. I didn't go to school for that. I didn't get my degree in that, but
That's
I just
impressive.
kind of fell into the job, and because there wasn't anybody else to do it, I had to figure it out. And for those of us that have been around on computers a long time, remember Clippy, the little
Mhm.
talking paper
Flip
clip that you could
floppy
click
disk.
on, and ask any question, and boom, it would give you the answer. I miss Clippy a lot because I relied on him heavily. I was, I think Clippy was open like 9 out of 10 hours, and I would be at work. I had Clippy up and running. But it was just figuring it out. And if I
Yeah.
really got stuck, then I would usually call my son and say, okay, I can't make it do what I want it to do. And he would walk me through it. Of course, at that time, he was in the Navy. And so it's sometimes he'd be like, I'm in the middle of the Pacific, Mom, I can't talk right now. I'd be like, yeah, you got to help me. So he would send me a couple of links and say, start here. But
Oh,
It's
that's
just a
sweet.
matter of knowing, um, I guess that's just being in touch with your own body, like you were saying.
Mm,
That's something that a
hmm
lot of us kind of relearning how to do.
hmm
Um,
hmm
I mean, I'm old enough to remember the hippie movement and all of that, and everybody was really into connecting with the earth and the earth's energies. I do Tai Chi myself
hmm
to keep myself fluid. I know how important it is to kind of bring that energy in so that you're working on yourself. I don't
hmm
always
hmm
do it as much as I should, but
Well,
you
there
know,
is a
that's something you
movie.
can consciously decide on. So,
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. There's so much there, but there is a movie called Grounding that is been around for a while. I think that it's really beneficial for people to watch. And it's part of the being outside. I work at a surgery center as a nurse, and during my lunch break, I go out, I take off my shoes and socks, and I lay on the
mhm,
picnic table and put my feet on the ground. So I really need the sun. The sun energizes us. It's connected with our solar plexus, which is also an energy center. And then the ground, again, is where all of our nutrition comes from. Well, or innately. So that
right.
field that I don't even know if it's electrical or magnetic field, whatever it does have a rebalancing for your chakras, and there is actually research on the effects of grounding. There are now mats that you can lay on that will have a similar effect of grounding, and the healing effects are pretty significant. So, from a scientific standpoint, it kind of is, um, validates the need to be out in nature. So for me, just being with plants and trees, and again, the rocks, there's so much knowledge. And for a Gemini with pretty much all my signs in the air element, in a
Me
strong
too.
science background, getting out of my head is a lifesaver, right? And I have really my guides had told me to, for a period of time, stop watching all the YouTube and reading all the stuff so that I could know when the information came through that it was the spiritual energy coming through. It wasn't something I was picking up from other information. I'm not saying that you should do
Right,
that.
right.
But where I'm
Yeah,
going is then when I started connecting with the elements and things, I realized, particularly with stones, different stones, different gems bring different energies. But here I am, like talking with a rock. Um, like some of them are actually, I was told, information keepers. They're kind of like,
yeah. That
I
makes
don't
sense.
know. I don't know how to put it, archives of information. There's so much information. When you think how much energy has passed by them, and that they hold, some of them told me that they're actually bringing energy, or they're actually bringing information from the center of the earth up for us to know. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I love learning, and because I'm an air sign and I like to research things. I have found it really,
Gemini
really
Aquarius here.
important.
So,
Yeah, really, really important in our healing process, and to realize that we can obtain that information just from the energies that are around us.
right,
Because we can kind of become a victim to thinking that we have to have somebody else tell us, or that we have to have a book tell us. Because I'll tell you what we don't know. And as much as science has to offer us, there's areas that they don't even know how to test right?
Right.
That we can intuitively pick up on.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, it there's just so much still for us to learn. I mean, that's all I think all part of it is it's that continuing ability to learn is what is probably the best thing about the human race is our capacity to learn, to love, to um, and that starts with ourselves, and then it goes outwards from there. So thank y'all for all your questions. Thank you, Miss Rhonda, for coming and spending your afternoon with us for a little while, and I hope to get her back on again sometime soon and can discuss some more. Y'all, please be sure to go and check out her website, which is well, if I can get the stupid thing.
RhondaWendzelHealing.com.
Yep.
And then again,
Easier people see it. So yeah, and the link is
okay,
in the description box below. So
right. Again, this website, the primary focus right now is the massage. I'm looking at getting another website going. You can get to this psychic intuitive work and coaching from that as well. I am looking at doing workshops. I haven't put those up, so your feedback would be appreciated. You can again contact me at Rhonda, or I don't know if you can do it on this website, but you can go to my last name, the number 11 at gmail.com. The present things that my guides have been suggesting is again bringing back the sacred, working, energetically with plants. So, I'm talking about just the general connection. I feel like there's going to be multiple because plants can talk to us also about their healing properties and whether or not they want to work with us in that manner. Right. So you can come from a botany standpoint, which again, that science is important. But what I have
yes,
found is it's good to have that background. But I have found information coming through, and then what I like to do is I like to go fact check my guides. Something will come
exactly.
through.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
and
down here in Louisiana, and within the Cajun culture, we have what they call traiteurs, which are
is
just
what? I'm
faith
sorry,
healers.
what is it?
Huh?
What is it that you called it?
Traiteurs. They're called
Teachers.
traiteurs.
Uh-huh.
And that's just like a mountain witch doctor or something. And they're intuitive healers. I've I've seen some that have done hands-on laying on healing, which blew my mind. Um, a lot of the sports teams down around in this area will all
Mhm.
have their own traiteur on staff for
Yes.
injuries and whatnot, and so as much as a lot of people around the world will kind of sneer at the metaphysical aspect of it, you still have cultures where it's just a common thing and people do it and don't think about it.
Hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
quite the same connotation as someone calling you a witch because witch is equated to a bad word when it shouldn't
Mhm.
be, but it's getting in touch with the native tribes around the world and all that they can bring. I mean,
Mhm.
before science showed up and started teaching us and learning and figuring out this stuff, we had healers that knew the plants, knew the locations, knew what to do, what to put together to mix. I mean, I grew up with,
Mhm.
my grandmother would concoct all kinds of stuff for us to take or to put on us when, you got a cut or an infection that nowadays most people would probably freak out about, but it was
Yeah,
perfectly
and
normal
what
for
I
us.
found,
I
and
was
that's part of the issue with my webpage, this has been a long process for me, and I had the message very strongly before I got on today. It's time to be authentic. It's time to be the person that you came here to be for the information to come through and to stop trying to fit in, you know. So I'm like, I'll do massage because that's acceptable, even though all this other stuff comes through. And,
Right.
you know, I've had some backlash, and probably some of that is energetically my own fear of people's retribution. But what I have found, in all honesty, is it's kind of like this subculture. If people are really more and more and more interested, but they also are kind of afraid to come out and be like, do you know anything about plants? Or, right? So
Yeah.
as we discover more and more the limitations of Western medicine, and we become a lot more clear and you know, step away into nature and step away out of being brainwashed about, and I shouldn't be saying that, but that's what I feel like. You know, any time that we are for, or we believe something because somebody else told us and it's advertised on us over and over and over, it is a brainwashing, whether it's that or anything else, because it can come through us. And so um, they said it's really important to not hide the fact that information comes channeled, or that, you know, energy comes through you, or whatever it is, because I truly and honestly believe that this is a natural human, and this is how we all naturally should be. We all have these capabilities, right? We have the capability to heal ourselves, and there's so much research out there that
Yes.
I have a passion to bring, you know, it's a possible project to start bringing these modalities and showing the science behind it that's hidden. Um, so I guess this all came up because what I wanted to say, living in New Mexico, I was drawn to New Mexico. I came here, I walked on the land, and as cheesy as this sounds, I started crying, and I said, I'm home. Like, I just
Hmm.
instantly knew I was home. And so people that have, you know, because we know there's a strong history, you know, this wasn't always New Mexico, this was part of Mexico. But um, people that grew up here, many of them grew up with curanderas and, you know, plant healers and these type of things, and it was
Right.
eradicated with colonialism. And so it is interesting because it's almost as like this has become like some like witches or evil thing. It's really bizarre how mainstream society is taking something that was very effective and pushed it under.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it
And
can come back. It can become something that we use.
I think it slowly is. At least it feels that way to me. More and more people are kind of tuning into what did the native tribes do? What did my grandparents do? What did, depending on your culture and where you're growing up, just about anywhere you go, there's going to be some form, if not current, at least ancestrally, of healers and how they did things. And when you feel that call to have that gift of being able to reach out and help somebody figure out what's wrong with them so that they know how to deal with it. And it could be everything from past life blockages to current today blockages to medical. I mean, there's so many different avenues you can branch off in as to what's making you sick, that it helps to be able to tune into yourself to kind of figure out what's hurting and why. And taking classes, um, workshops, stuff like that, which Rhonda's working on putting together, then that's
Yeah.
so much better. We not only can start healing ourselves, but maybe heal others, or just
Yeah.
help them
And
know how to do
again,
it.
I'm working full time as a nurse, but I'm wanting. I've had all these dreams, and it's kind of like, I lost my wife 2 years ago, and it's been a healing through the grieving process, which has helped me be a better person and to be able to assist. But also is the realization that life is short, right? But to be
Yeah.
able to be a resource for people. And so, when we were talking about this, I'm thinking of the book Dying to Be Me, a woman that had, end stage cancer. They thought she was going to die that day. She had a near death experience. She came back. To sum it up, the message she got was that she wasn't living who she was meant to be. And it was killing her from the inside out. It was eating her up. I'm making this very basic, but the point is that taking that time to find out who we are and heal ourselves is a gift to everyone. It's a
No,
gift
I
to
get
everyone.
it. The first time I was given a deck of tarot cards, and I'm like, what do I do with this? I mean, I knew I had abilities since I was like 4 years old, but
Mm,
I always ignored it and I didn't want to be weird or different. So I just pretended like it didn't exist. And when I finally opened that door up and said, okay, I know you're there. Now what? And somebody was like, yeah, you're supposed to be reading cards. And that first deck I got, the minute I held them in my hands and just started playing with them, it was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do with myself. It was just so clear, that message.
yeah.
This is what I'm supposed to do. And so it makes a really big difference when you hit that threshold and you're like, oh, I get it. I get it now. This is what I'm supposed to do. So um, that helps not only yourself, but those around you, because
Mm-hmm.
you start vibrating in that positive energy and doing what you're called to do. And it can affect others around you, and hopefully help them find what they're supposed to do. So
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer in energy is just ripples in and out at all times. It's a
Well, look
constant.
at what an amazing gift you have given us all. And I'm honored to be on here, but I am just so grateful for the platform that you have created for so many people. Um, what a magnificent thing to give. Like, you have made life changing platform for people.
Well, I hope so. My goal's always been, if I can just help one person, it's worth it. And when I first started, it was the generosity of others inviting me onto their channels to figure out, what do I do and how do I do this. And I'm still trying to figure out, what do I do and how do I do this. But it's more different things now. Is you learn as you go, and I love doing this. Which I know people look at me and go, "You work full time, and then you come home and you do this all night and all
Mm,
weekend." I'm like, I love this.
yeah.
This is what I'm
That's
supposed
the
to do.
energy and the juice. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for
So
that. And that's what brings me here to a bunch of synchronicities, I guess. But um, I have, as so many of us that have or are aware of these gifts, I think is the best way to put it, because I believe we all have them. Um, I've
yes.
been in and out, pushed them away until it's all I want to do now. It's all I
Yeah.
want is to be able to bring forth um, these messages and this healing, because there is nothing that is more satisfying than to be in the presence of spirit and to
Yes.
be able to connect with somebody else's spirit, because everything else is just really, it's like a big play. It's like a big movie, right? um,
Absolutely.
and so,
Absolutely.
I really uh, hope that the information that has come through today will have helped at least one person, right? Because that makes my life worth living, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
And
said
it's not
too.
like I'm any great big creator or anything on YouTube, but I like inviting people on that are kind of a little off the beaten path or just getting started, just because I know how important it is to
Mhm.
be that first one to step out and go, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I know I'm supposed to do this. what's next. And so I get joy out of helping to bring people, and I've brought people on that were brand new that are now like eons past me in their growth. They just took off and, through the stratosphere. And it's like,
Mm.
I've had people ask me, does that make you jealous? And I'm like, no, it makes me happy because I had a part of that. I was the one that reached out in the beginning and said, oh, why don't you come on and let's let people hear you and talk to you. I said, so I look at it as just being kind of like raising a kid and having them go to school and go to college and, become a rocket scientist or a doctor or whatever, it's, you had a part of them getting there. And so that's what matters to me. So thank you again, Rhonda, for coming on, and
Thank you
we'll
very
get
much.
in touch, have you come back and talk some more. And as you continue to work on things and get things growing and moving with what you're doing, and then we come back on and highlight it, let people see it so they know where to go and who to go to. And so that's important, I think. And thank all of y'all for coming and hanging out. If for those that had questions that weren't in the healing genre, I will be back tonight, 10 o'clock Central, for the slumber party. Anything goes. Ask any question. You'll either get an oracle card pulled or you'll get a naughty card pulled. So depending on what you ask for. So I have to run a content warning with that show too. Explicit language will be used. So people don't get mad and say, I turned it on and I heard all these words. It's like, it's called English language. But, some people can't handle it. And it's fun. The slumber party is exactly that. It's a slumber party. We just have fun with it. So, and sometimes they actually catch me falling asleep on camera. If I stay up too late, I'll go right out, And I laugh because they come back the next week. I'm like, okay, I don't get that, but whatever, I'm glad you're here. And so thank you very much. Thank you everybody for joining us. We're gonna say goodbye for now because my bladder's about to burst. And part of the fun of one of the pills I take is I have to go to the bathroom a lot. And this kidney thing I'm dealing with. And y'all have a great afternoon. If you're still awake, come back tonight. Selena, Essence of the Moon, will be with me. She will be my co-host tonight. So we always have a lot of fun when Selena's on. One of our resident witches with all kinds of stuff that she does. She makes her own tinctures and oils and all that, guys. It's amazing. It's like, wow, she's really good at that. So I don't know. It's like she sent me a couple. It's got the herbs and stuff inside of them. She makes her own stuff and sends it out. So I'm like, that's cool to have that. I'm slowly building a collection from people who make their own stuff and they send it to me and it's like there, so I can use it when I need it. And so that's kind of fun. And thank you again. I'll just keep going if I don't stop now.
All right. Take care. Thank you. Hopefully see you again soon.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Bye, everybody.